Hello and welcome back to Pentel Cars Cornish Car Collectors, and today, well, it's a video about an update on my Rover 200 VI. Now you'll remember in my previous video, well, I had something of a dilemma. I own two of only a handful of Rover 200 VIs left, and I was pondering which of the two cars to break in order to restore the other. Now this was a tough decision, not helped by the number of comments that I had from you all about the fact that really I should be saving both cars and not even thinking about breaking one. Well, no surprises then that I've pushed ahead with the restoration of this, the 1999 registered car. And as for the 97, well, it's gone back into the barn, all covered up, ready for me to look at another day. So what have I been up to? Well, the last time that you saw this car, I had just bought it, having picked it up from where the previous owner had stored it throughout the entire winter. It was dirty inside and out, and it had a number of bodywork issues. Mechanically it was okay, but there was an oil leak from that rocker cover gasket and a few electrical jobs were required. The first job was a really good clean, and just look how well the interior came out. Next, the car had an oil and filter change, plus I had that rocker cover gasket sorted, and I gave the engine a good clean so that I can watch out for any further oil seeps, and so far so good. Then the car went into MK Body Shop in Plymouth for the front bumper to be repaired and painted, and the rear spoiler. It has really tidied up the appearance of this very smart looking little hot hatch. I've also changed the number plates and put new wipers on it all round, and swapped out that steering wheel, that worn steering wheel, for a nice fresh one. I did have a go at putting an original stereo back into this car, as I've got one in the garage. Unfortunately though, a previous owner has removed the feed that goes up to the dash mounted clock, which is a real shame. So I'll have to work a bit harder to get that fitted, but it's a small issue, and the current aftermarket Kenwood, well, it works fine, albeit a bit ugly. I haven't got to the passenger electric window yet, or swapped the two corroded alloy wheels for a nicer set of original wheels still that I've got in the garage. Also, I need to tackle the door cards. This zippy little Rover 200 VI has been my daily transport, my daily driver for the past month, and it has been absolutely brilliant. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've had loads of fun in this car, and it's proven itself to be completely reliable. And just look how damn pretty it is. Anyway, it's now for this car's biggest challenge, well, with me anyway. Tomorrow I'm taking this car all the way from Cornwall up to Birmingham to attend the Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show, and I'm taking you along with me. So join me and let's see together if this car will make it. And whilst I've got your attention, don't forget to hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel for more updates on this and all of my other cars, and let us know what you think in the comments. It's always great to hear from you. So yesterday this car did throw up a bit of a challenge. I was having a quick walk around the car in readiness for tomorrow's drive. I noticed the near side wheel was covered in brake dust, more so than all of the rest. So I took the car for a drive, and sure enough, this wheel was getting really warm. The brake caliper was just binding on. I don't want to make a sort of 240-mile drive there and then back again in a car that's getting hot this side. So I whipped it into the garage. Big shout out to Torpoint MOT, who supplied and fitted a new caliper on this side and new brake discs and brake pads up the front. So this car really is as ready as it can be for this long drive. Anyway, we've got an early start tomorrow, so I'm gonna go home, get ready, and I'll see you in the morning. Let's get cracking. Well, good morning everyone. Oh, hang on a minute, let me try the light. Don't know if that improves things. Good morning everyone, and it's just gone 5:30 here in Cornwall. We're in the Rover 200 VI, which is lovely and clean. I gave it a quick clean last night. Here are some photos. And it's now time to take this old, 24-year-old Rover all the way up to the NEC in Birmingham, which is about 242 miles. So, let's go. Sounds lovely, this little K-Series engine. Oh, the radio's on. It sounds lovely, this little K-Series engine. One of the best, one of the sweeter K-Series that I've had. So, as I say, it's 242 miles, and well, this is an old car, and it's a car that's been in storage with Richard there for some time, the previous owner. I've used it a little bit, done about 400 miles kind of around the local area, and of course bringing it back from Southampton, and it's done really well. But we will be taking it fairly easy today. I checked all the levels yesterday. Of course, this car, as I've said previously in this video, has been serviced, but I've checked all the levels and they're fine. Checked all the tyre pressures, again they're good. So as long as we take it easy, and believe me, I will be taking it easy, as long as we take it easy, well, I think this little car will make it just fine. But it's that famous last words. Let's find out. Let's go to the Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show, have a decent look around, and enjoy for the moment driving this lovely old Rover 200 VI all the way there. I'll pick it up in a couple of hours. See you then. I just love driving into the daylight. It's got such a sense of event. After all, usually if you're driving into the daylight, it means you've set off early because you've got somewhere cool to go, and that's certainly the case today. Also, sat here in this little Rover, well, I think it's got such a smart looking illuminated dash display with these orange lights. I think it really looks good. And of course, the clocks are consistent with all the Rovers of this time. They're very similar, in fact, to my Rover 800 Vitesse. So yeah, a really nice place to sit, and it's quite comfortable even for quite a big lad like me, but we'll see if I still feel like that at the other end, some 240 miles later. I've also got a full tank of fuel, which first of all is important right now because we are at a time of record-breaking fuel prices. It really is extortionate fueling up your car right now, and that was part of the decision for bringing the Rover 200 VI because, well, this car is a 1.8 petrol, and the other car that I've currently got taxed is the 4.6 litre V8 MG, and as much as that would have been great fun to drive up and back to Birmingham, I think it would have cost me a fair amount of money. But then having said that, this car has cost me the brakes to make this journey. Anyway, doesn't matter. So the route I'm taking today will take me over the Saltash Bridge. So I'll show you a bit of that, and then really this time I will catch up with you in a couple of hours. So see you then. So it's about 8:30 and we're past Bristol, and we've stopped here at St Michael's Wood for a quick cup of coffee. I'll put that down there for a moment. How's it going? Well, 152 miles in, and the car, the Rover, is driving absolutely brilliantly. We're still running these brakes in, but to be honest, this run is probably doing this car the world of good. So with about, well, just under 100 miles to go, we'll keep going. No cup holder in the Rover VI, which is pretty consistent with all kind of 90s cars. But that aside, well, I've been keeping the car at well below sort of 70 miles an hour, between 60 and 70 miles an hour all of the way, and it's been driving really, really well. The engine service that I did and that brake overhaul has really taken the stress out of this journey, and well, as I say, with 154 miles now done, I'm absolutely confident that we'll make it all the way up to the NEC. Or I've probably just jinxed that. Anyway, we're driving up to the NEC, of course, for the Classic Car Show, and one of the cars that will be quite interesting to see up there is, I believe, on the Rover 200 and 400 stand, they actually do have a white Rover 200 VI. Now, I've seen the car before. It's a fairly regular attendee of the Pride of Longbridge in Birmingham. So I've seen the car before, but it will be nice to take my VI up to see that VI. And of course, Matt Richardson from Furious Driving is also at the show. He's taken his Crown Victoria, but he also has a Rover 200 VI. So with there only being around 20 of these cars left on the road, it's nice to know that 3 owners will actually be all in the same place at the same time, which I suppose is a fairly rare event. One of the more recent times that I've actually attended this show, I've been to it a few times, but one of the more recent times, I actually took another kind of modern classic Rover up to that show. I took my Rover 420 GSI Tourer. In fact, here are some photographs and maybe even a bit of footage if I can find it. You'll know by now because I'll either be playing it or I won't. But maybe a bit of footage of me driving my Rover 420 GSI Tourer up to this show, where we had a really great day. That was a brilliant car, and well, all Rovers really are brilliant. I mean, I know I've Rover-dosed, I've got way too many of them, but I've had lots of Rovers in my time. Maybe one day I'll do a video on all of that, but I've had lots of Rovers, really enjoy them. But that 420 GSI Tourer really was one of the best. Anyway, we've probably got about just over an hour's worth of driving. I'm enjoying the Rover. I'm going to put some music back on, drink this coffee, and we'll see you at the NEC. So here we are then at the NEC, and well, I'm just trying to find where to park, being directed nicely by that chap. But here we are at the NEC, and the Rover 200 has driven up absolutely faultlessly. Honestly, this drive has been without any event, without any drama. It's been relaxing. I've just really enjoyed the drive. And whilst we queue for the car park now, you know, my experience of the Classic Car and Restoration Show doesn't start now. It started a couple of months ago when I bought and started to restore this car, and it's now driven me here so perfectly. It really has been, well, brilliant. And I suppose it's evidence to everyone that you don't have to spend a great deal on a car so long as you look after it, you service it, you do the maintenance and the jobs that it requires. Well, this type of modern classic really can be everyday transport. We've done 230 miles. And as I say, we're just queuing for the car park now. So, going to get parked up, and then I'm going to go on into the exhibition halls and have a decent look around the cars. So, I suggest we cut to a picture of me parked now, and then we cut to a montage of photographs of the best cars, well, in my opinion, at the show. Let's go. So here we are back in the Rover 200 VI, having just left the NEC. I spent 7 hours at the Practical Classic and Restoration Show. Absolutely brilliant. Loads of fantastic cars and car stands there on show. A lot of nice Rovers and MGs, some nice Fords and loads of other stuff, which was brilliant. Also, loads of nice products and auto jumble to kind of sort through and buy. Really lovely looking through all of that. And we met some celebrities. We met Mike Brewer, we met Elvis, we met Ann Anstead, all from Wheeler Dealers, met Fuzz Townsend, also met Sarah Crabtree from Bangers and Cash, and then the YouTubers. We saw Ian from Hubnut, Steph from iDriver Classic, Matt from Furious Driving, and Jeff from Jeff Buys Cars. Absolutely brilliant. So lots of celebrities and lots of YouTubers, but the main event, of course, were the cars, and they were brilliant. And actually, this car's been brilliant as well. A really nice white Rover 200 VI. Had a nice chat with the guy who owned that. Yeah, fantastic day. But I'm not going home today. Graham joined me. He's actually in front now in his Ford Puma. My friend Graham joined me at the show. We're actually going to go stay the night in Birmingham tonight. We're going to go out for a few drinks because Birmingham is a really good night out. So, going to do that, have a bit of breakfast in the morning, and then, yeah, drive home in the Rover 200 VI. So, 234 miles done so far. Quite a bit more fuel drunk than I thought. Maybe it's got a small tank. Maybe I should have bought that V8. Actually, no, this will be cheaper. We'll work that out at the end. Stay tuned, we'll see that at the end. So, join me, I suppose, tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll show a couple of pictures of the night out, but join me tomorrow morning when we'll drive this little car home and end this brilliant weekend. See you tomorrow. Right, well, morning everyone. What a great night we had yesterday. What a great day we had yesterday. And now it's time to drive the Rover 200 VI home. But when you're in Birmingham and you're in an MG Rover, well, there's one place you've got to visit for a quick picture. So let's go. You see, the thing that you simply have to do when you're in Birmingham in either a Rover or an MG is head on over to Longbridge and have a photograph taken of the car underneath the famous MG octagon sign, which of course is where the old Rover sign used to hang years ago. So we're going to head on over there and have that picture, but en route I did stop and fill this car up with fuel, put about 50 quid's worth of fuel in it, which is loads of money because fuel is loads of money right now, but put my £50 worth of fuel in the car, and I'm pleased to say the little VI has done 37 miles per gallon, which I think is pretty good. Anyway, on to MG, Longbridge there, and well, here we are, we're arriving, great. So we're done at Longbridge, nice photograph there of the car underneath the sign, and now, well, it's 3 hours and 30 minutes home, so we'll take it nice and steady, but I have every confidence in the little VI that it'll get me there. Well, it's certainly a lovely day, and well, here in Bristol at the moment, stopped off for a coffee. And well, this car looks great in the car park, particularly in this sun. One thing that I've noticed certainly is that car manufacturers don't seem to be making cars anymore in this British racing green or any real greens, which is sad, I think, because it looks absolutely great. And of course, the shape is so different to everything else that's kind of parked here today. So cars looking good in the car park. Other thing probably to say about this journey is I haven't seen any other MG Rovers on the road. Saw some at the show yesterday, of course, saw loads because the show was in Birmingham and, well, MG Rover is from Birmingham. But actually seeing some on the road, I haven't seen any Rover 75s, I haven't seen any MG ZTs, anything really, which is a real shame. But I suppose it's been 17 years since the collapse of MG Rover, and, well, they're all gone, or a few have been collected and kind of kept away, but in the main they're all gone, which is really sad. We're 12 miles off a big mileage milestone, 110,000 miles, so we'll clock that, I think, and we'll get home to Cornwall. So yeah, I got no worries about this car making it. Let's take the rest of the drive. So we've made it back here onto the Tor Point Ferry. We've done 450 miles in this little green Rover 200 VI. And to think right back at the beginning of this journey that I wasn't convinced this was going to make it all the way up and back without issue. And in fact, it's been a joy. No problems at all. It really has been a great car to drive up and back, and proves the point you can spend very little on a car. As long as you look after it, well, it will get you where you need to go. Remember, we haven't finished the restoration on this one yet. We've still got to do the wheels. We've still got to sort out that window. And we also still have to sort out these material swabs here on the door cards and a few other bits and pieces. But for now, it's on the road, it's looking good, and I'm enjoying the car. And I really hope that you've enjoyed, first of all, the catch up and the update on this car, and secondly, joining me on my trip to the Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show there at the NEC. Time for me to park this up at home, which is only about half a mile up the road, and sit down and have a bit of a rest. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye.